Hello paper crafters, I'm Tamra and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making this card. It's got this unique little window that exposes your sentiment here. It's made with the little peekaboo frames. In the card I left room for you to write some kind of personalized message on the inside. Mainly we're going to be focusing on making the little window, so let's get started. To make the window I am using the peekaboo frames. This I know you can't see the frames, it's really hard. Try to get the light the right way, but we're using this one frame right here. This is a carryover item from last year, and I ran that through my Big Shot, and I used some saffron because of the colors of my card. And I went ahead and I added some sticky strip to the back of this. On this piece here we need one strip across this end here, that's where the tag's going to attach. And I went ahead and I took a sticky strip and I cut it in half to put these around the edge. So the first thing we're going to need to take our little window, and to get it to fold right, we want to put a score line here and we want to put a score line in the middle. And I'm just going to use a ruler, and we will just eyeball this. That way it we'll use a smaller end here. That way it will fold and make your little window. We'll just kind of get here in the center. Put another line. Then we're going to fold those score lines. I don't want to mess my frame up. Okay. We want to make it where it's going to fold the right way, so here we go. Okay, now next we will need another piece of it'll be the same color, the saffron, and this piece is 2 inches by 2 3/4 inch, and we are going to take this piece and we're going to use our corner rounder, and we're only going to do it on one side. It's going to be the side that pulls out, or that you pull out to see the sentiment. And then we're going to use a hole punch, and I'm using the bigger punch because I'm using 1/4 inch ribbon for my pull. Oh, I didn't get that quite in the right spot. There we go. Okay, and we'll go ahead and add our ribbon to that, and I'm just using some chocolate chip 1/4 inch gross grain ribbon, and we'll just tie a little knot in this, and I'm going to double it so it doesn't come undone. At the top here, we don't want to lose our ribbon on our card, so, and now we'll just trim those off. Okay, now before we adhere that, we're going to add the little sentiment right here, which I used to send in many things, and I'm using baked brown sugar, and the set that I'm using is the Petite Pears, and that is that's this set here, and it's in the Idea book and catalog. So now we have that on the front, and we are going to go ahead and take off this sticky strip, and we're going to add our tag right here. That way it will pull out and it will pull that window open. So let me remove this plastic backing. Okay, oops. Thought I had it. Alright, there we go. Okay, so go ahead and line this up really nicely. Okay, so now you can see we're going to pull, when we pull, it's going to pull out like so. But we have to add another piece to this. We're going to use a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is a 2" by 2 1/4" piece. And this is going to have our little sentiment on the inside. And it's going to go more towards this edge over here. And so we're going to want the sentiment up here at the top. So we're going to go ahead and stamp it right here. And I'm still using the baked brown sugar. And I'm using the petite pears. And we'll put our sentiment up here. And I added this little bird just because I thought he was cute on the bottom. And I'm just going to use some Pool Party to add him to our little, to the bottom, to the sentiment. Getting turned the right way. Okay. Now we're going to add that back here to this piece. So we'll go ahead and take off this sticky strip here. Of course, this stuff never cooperates when you're filming. It's always more difficult to get off. And I've got it in kind of small pieces too. We'll go ahead and take just on this side is what we're interested in right now. Okay, let's try this end. There we go. Okay. Now, make sure we get our sentiment in the right area. And we'll just kind of line, I better set it down to line it up. Okay. So now, when we open, we'll see our little sentiment there. Okay. Now, I went ahead and I did the base for this card. I'm using Early Espresso, and I'm using Sweater Weather DSP. These pieces are cut at 2 1/8 by 5 1/2, and the burlap is a 5 1/2 inch piece of burlap. And to finish this out, we're going to just add our little window to the front here. But before we do that, we need a little strip across where that little tab is. And it's a little, I just use the same DSP like I'm using on the card front. And it's just a little 2" by 1/4" piece. And we'll add that with our snail. And that will just keep that little tab from showing. And adds a little bit more dazzle to it. And then I'm using the Truly Grateful set from the mini, and I went ahead and stamped out this little acorn, and I cut it out ahead of time because I wanted it cut just right around the acorn. And we're going to add that to our little window here. And we're keeping it on this one side so that it doesn't get in the way of our fold there. And And we're just using some sticky strip to add that. Oops. And we'll just set that to the side. And I stamped it on Very Vanilla with the baked brown sugar. Okay, now we'll go ahead and take this other sticky strip off that I put on, and we're going to adhere this to the front of our card. And I'll just, well, I better use some sticky strip because we've got this burlap here, and we want a good, want it to adhere well to that, and sticky strip's very strong, so I'll just use a couple pieces of that, and we'll attach that to the Very Vanilla. And that didn't stick good. Let's try that again. Okay, there's one. Okay, here's the other. Okay, now we'll go ahead and add that to the front. Make sure all your edges are stuck well. And we'll do a little test run. Okay, now to finish this card out, I use the, it's called Autumn Accents. It's a die, and it's got all these leaves, and it's got some little acorn shapes. And then I ran it through the Big Shot using Sweater Weather, and we're going to just add these down here to the corner of our card. And I'm just using some snail. And I'm doing one on top of the other. And then on the inside here, I used the labels, and I went ahead and ran it through the Big Shot. I did it with Very Vanilla. Then I daubed brown sugar around the edges, and I used the wheat from the Truly Grateful set, and I stamped it in Summer Star Fruit. And we're just going to use snail to add that to the inside. And the reason I added this piece is because the early espresso is so dark you couldn't see a sentiment if you added anything to the inside, and we want to be able to add a nice message to our greeting. So we'll just put that in, and then I added a couple of little pieces of our little candy pieces. This is from the Brights selection, and I just stuck a couple little pieces up here in the corner. These are really nice. They have adhesive on the back, so they're real easy to work with, flat backed with adhesive. And there you go. You got a little card with your little window that you just pull to see your message. Hope you like it. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.